Closed captioning for sport fishing on the fly is brought to you by The Frog Boat, inspired by nature, ingenious by design.
The Bulkley River is one of the best known steelhead streams probably in the world, and today we're going to show you the stretch from Bulkley River right down into Smithers. The next float we're going to show you next week is actually going to be from a section on the Maurice River, which is really the upper Bulkley. We'll take it from Aspen down to Biamac. So today it's the Bulkley River as we take you sport fishing on the fly.
Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you in part by Islander Reels, Precision Reels, The Frog Boat, inspired by nature, ingenious by design, and Rio Products, specialists in fly lines, leaders, and tippet materials.
There's the steelhead right out in front here. Been shaking pretty hard. I just hope
Well, we just started and we got some pretty nasty conditions, but you know, sun's come out, the wind's blowing all the leaves in the water. Well, that's good.
It's a nice chrome fish. I can see him there, but Al, you might have to help me. I can't get him.
Wow, and that's why you use heavy pound test. I think Dale's got 15-pound test on, and
Yeah, 15.
when you're going after these big guys, you have to. They look pretty big.
Oh, he looked like he was probably around 12 pounds or so. Looked like 10, 12.
Yeah, well, that's a nice
When he
size.
jumped, anyway.
Well, he's been digging.
I just can't get him out of that fast. We're not in a very good spot.
No, we've been out here for an hour, and we decided to stop at this one spot. And the wind has come up on us big. It's blowing all the leaves in the water. It's getting kind of dirty, but it's all right. And now you decided to start with the sink tip, didn't you?
Yeah, with a great big rabbit strip because there's leaves and the rain and all the stuff coming in the water. There, he should be right on the surface.
Whereas I started with the dry.
Oh, nice fish. Oh, he's big.
Oh yeah, he's a nice one. Oh, nice.
Or bigger than that, yeah. He could be over 15.
Well, that's it. You know, we've been working for an hour, like I said, and I'm on top with the dry. And you're working the sink tip, and I think that's a good combination, is to try the various types.
Especially with the stormy, nasty weather that...
Well, you got to try different setups. I mean, there's no use for everybody being on the same setup. Wouldn't make sense at all.
Oh, there he is. You can maybe film him here because I don't think we're going to land him. Look at him. The size of him. He's a big, big brute.
Oh, he's nice. Yeah, he's a big one.
I don't know how I'm going to land him without Al.
Well, we'll have to pull him up on here. If we can get him up on this gravel bar up here. Oh yeah, look at him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a nice one. He looks about 10 to 12.
Oh, he's more than that.
Is he?
Yeah.
We'll pull him up on the gravel here. I mean, you got a nice gravel bar right behind
Oh,
you.
there's
right
a log right there. I can go up
he's
in the
not gonna
corner.
bolt though. Yeah, look at him down there. Oh, oh. That's the beauty of steelheading, isn't it?
That's 15 pounds.
You think so?
Yeah.
He looks good.
I've got quite a few of them. That looks like about 15 to me.
Yeah.
I just don't know how we're gonna land them with.
Well, try it right here. Get behind the rope, right in that little slack or the boat. Don't know.
My only hope is to try to bring, but there's all that wood, eh? Look at them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's a nice one.
Oh, he doesn't like, see, as soon as that belly touches that gravel.
He's not happy. Well, try to get him right there. Look, you got a little slack water right here.
Dunbar abandons us.
He did, yeah, no big Al.
Big Al.
He's down there. Well, he saw a fish and he wants to get another one.
Look at that. Look at the size of him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a nice fish.
Can
Wow,
you
that's what
film
you
him right
expect.
there in the water? Because I think we might lose him when we're trying
We
to.
won't lose him. You'll get him. We'll tail him. Oh, yeah, he's down there. That's a nice fish. That's a big guy. Well, you know the beauty of this trip too is we've just started and we're gonna do a little steelhead and we're gonna do some coho. We're doing the whole northern trip.
Look at that.
Oh yeah. Nice fish. There you go. Tail him. Should be able to fin him there. Whoa. They don't like much when you touch their tail, do they?
Looked good there for a second. It looked like he almost had him.
Almost.
A nice fish.
Oh yeah. Yeah, gorgeous fish.
It's thick though too, eh?
Oh yeah. That's the beauty, you know, I just enjoy watching and filming a lot of times too. This is fun.
Just be ready, Don.
Yeah.
Oh.
Grab him by the tail.
I'm trying. Look, look at how he's hooked.
Oh, I know.
By just a smidgen.
Yeah. Well, here, lay your rod down. Just put it there, and in case he goes, I'll grab it. Here, give me your rod.
He's tangling. Just
Yeah, I know.
wait a minute, it's all.
There, I got your rod. I got your rod. Just there, hold him up and. Oh yeah, that's a nice big steelhead.
Yeah, he's about 12 pounds.
About 12. That's, yeah, I looked about 12. Nice, beautiful.
Nice.
Right in the corner of the lip. I got your rod.
Look at the light.
Oh, I know. That's the thing.
Hold him by a.
Yeah, hold them up again, get them right up there for everybody to see. We got a nice close up. Oh yeah, look at that. Now there is one gorgeous fish. That's the beauty. That's the lure of steelhead right there.
Revive here.
You know, for 12 pounds. Whoa, there he goes. Hey, good job. I'd shake your hand, but I have a rod in my hand and everything else.
Well, that was a tough landing. We're not in the best. Look at the storm coming.
Oh, we got nasty
We're
weather.
in terrible conditions, but we
Well,
just started,
Yeah,
and that was good. That's why I started to go with the sink tip.
yeah, it's a good idea. I started with the
leaves
leaves.
blowing on the water, and that and all that rain just dirtied the water up a little bit. But
Oh, what the heck? You got the big pink guy on and sig tip. That's good. I'll keep trying to dry for the remainder of the day, and you know we got a whole week, so we'll hopefully shore a bunch more. The Bulkley system, it's a winner. Right on. Good job. Here's the type of weather you have to expect when you're steelhead. We got a nice day today, but started off about -1, warmed up to +2. You can see all the snow on the mountains. We have frost all over our truck. And there's the bulldog. He worked the whole run to no avail. First run we hit, no luck. So just the way it is. How he snagged. Yeah, it's just the way it is with steelhead. You know, you got to work each run. A lot of boats on the water, a lot of other people out here enjoying the same type of fishing. And that is steelheading. If you're not willing to make the sacrifice, you're not going to get many steelhead. So you gotta put the time in, make the sacrifice. A lot of casts, a lot of hope, a lot of prayers, eh Al?
yep,
A lot of prayers.
a lot of ride.
And a lot of rye. Oh man, this guy's not huge. Like he looks like that, 8 to 10 pounds. But he hit right in that shallow water. Like I just ran my big fly through there, and he hit right in that shallow water. And I bet you there's more sitting there because it was shallow. Well, here he is here. Nice fish. It looks like that 10 pound range. Look at my fly, just hanging there. Whoa, here he goes. And you know, the thing with this too, as I explain a little bit later for steelhead, is when the water's a little murky like it is today, we're getting about, we got about 6 feet of clarity. Big flies, big colorful flies. And I've got this, I got a big rhea pattern on. We actually use rhea feather to tie this fly, and it could be a good candidate for the bench. And it's a great pattern when the water's murky. Oh yeah, look at that, he's just barely lip hooked. Oh, that's the thing with big steelies. Oh no, he's winding, he might get off. He's winding. Okay. Oh, that's a big beast. That's a nice steelhead. You know, it's a dandy, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, and look at how thick they are on the back. You know, that's a nice hen.
Right after I caught mine.
Yeah.
Mine is really like...
You know, we've made 2 holes now. Well, the first one we didn't have any luck. The second one, Dale got a real nice one. When we had the blowing wind, now it's cleared up a little bit. Look at that. That's what you can expect when you come steelhead. You know, that's a good 10 pound fish. Probably, what do you think? Oh. How big? Yeah, probably that 10 to 12, but real nice fish. So I'm gonna hit that little run. I'm gonna show everybody. Just look up in here, this tiny little run. Again, 3-4 feet of water. Now the big thing I'm gonna stress here is a resting spot. We've got rapids all above us. Right down here, it tails out, and it's a real good resting area for them. So wherever you can find little resting slots like this, the steelhead will stack in here. That was about my second cast in that run. So I'm going back in with my big rhea pattern. We're gonna go again, see if we get another one. Beautiful. How much fun is that? So now one thing to remember when you're fishing any kind of steelhead system is there's a lot of steps. What we call them is steps. And they go from one rapid down to another and then to a deep hole. Now a lot of people will go down and fish the deep hole. We actually like to fish the steps because what happens is the steelhead come up. It's a perfect little resting area right in this little slot. So they'll rest right at the head of this run, slide up to the next run, rest again, and then go to the deep pocket. And usually when they hit a deep pocket, they'll steam the tail out first, rest, and then slide into the pocket. So again, try to work these steps. I'm going to slide out here, and what I mean, I'll explain when I get out here how I'm going to approach it, is stay shallow. Don't go too deep. You can see that I'm only in a foot or two. You know, right now I'm only in a foot of water. And I'm just going to cast out to a couple of feet. Get my line all out here. And then just work it. Start right at the head. Get a cast out. And just let it swing through. And you're almost like you're nymphing. You just want it to swing through that little pocket. And again, work in tight. Don't get too aggressive and go waiting and charging out. Because these fish will sit right in these slots real tight. So again, down across, just allow that fly to swing through the slots. And again, my fly is probably going over about 3 to 4 feet of water right in this slot. And that's all you want to do. Continue to work it out a little deeper. And then slowly, just like normal steelheading, take a couple of steps and work it down again. And you can see the run all the way down to the drift boat. I can work this run for a good half an hour and keep fishing out through the pocket and let the fly swing through. They're usually very, very productive, these little steps, so make sure you fish them. Ha, the deer. That's all you get is a ton of wildlife up here. There they go. The little guy is following them up. Well, I'm going to head in. I'm going to go and try this little riffle up here. See you how it works. Tried a few at the tail, now we'll try some up at the head.
So what happened?
Oh, lost a nice one, you know. Just doing single-handed spey casting here, but what it is, one big tip I've got to give you is I just lost a real nice one. Real big steelhead again. You look at the water I'm in. A couple of 2.5 feet, sitting out in 3 to 4 feet. Just let my fly swing and hit it right at the end of the swing. But I hadn't sharpened my hook, and when you use a sink tip line, the best advice I can give you is continually sharpen your hook. You're always bottom bouncing, the fly's rattling along the rocks, it dulls the hook up, and then you don't get many shots of steelhead, you know, you got a few shots every time down. I had the one real nice one on, he schooled me out, took a whole bunch of line and took it off. And I think this is a good time actually after that tip is to go to the bench. I'm not sure what we're going to tie, but let's go to the bench and see what I'm going to tie you up. Once you locate the fish steelheading, they usually hit anything. The biggest problem after that is trying to keep them on the hook. Today I'm going to tie you up a traditional pattern. It's called the red and blue butcher. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we're going to use a size 4 steelhead hook, some 6/0 red thread to tie with, some red bucktail as the tail, some silver tinsel for the body, some blue bucktail as the wing, and some red and blue hackle as the hackle. To start the fly off, I've taken my red thread and tied on a good base layer. Now I've taken a nice clump of my red bucktail. I'm going to measure it up about, say a quarter of the length of the hook and tie it in for the tail. We want it fairly short. You don't want a long tail on this pattern. The next step to the fly is take a strand of your silver tinsel, and I like to use the medium or fairly thick silver tinsel because we do have to wrap up the body, and tie it in right back to the hook shank, and then wrap forward to form the body. And again, it really doesn't matter which end of the tinsel comes up, whether it's silver or gold. We just like either the silver or gold body. Both of them work quite well. Now that the body's tied in, I'm going to take a clump of my blue bucktail. I'm going to measure it back so it extends just past our red tail, and then tie it in near the head and form a wing on the pattern. Now that the wing's tied in, we want to create a couple of hackle collars on the fly. I'm going to start with my red hackle. I'm going to tie it in, again, just behind the wing, and take about 2 to 3 wraps of your hackle. You don't want a lot of hackle there. Just a couple of wraps, probably 2 to 3, and tie it off. And then what I'm going to do is take my thread and just wind it slightly over the hackle to form a collar, just to help push that hackle back on the fly. The next step to the fly is to select a blue hackle. Now it's very important when you're selecting this blue hackle to make sure that it is bigger than the red hackle you just put on, because you want some overlap, and you want that blue hackle to extend a little bit higher and a little bit further than the red hackle you put in. So I'm tying it in. It is a little bit bigger than the red one, and I'm just going to again take 2 or 3 wraps just to form a blue collar on the fly, and tie it off near the eyelet. And always give yourself room near the eye. You want a nice red head on this fly at the end. Now I'm going to take my thread and again do the same thing, just push it back onto my blue hackle so that it flares back slightly. To finish the fly off, take your red thread and continue to build up a nice head on the pattern and taper it slightly. Once you have a nice red head built, do a quick whip finish, cut off your excess thread, trim it off, and then a lot of times I like to finish with a red lacquer. So this is a good addition to the pattern, is just red lacquer that head to finish it off. And there it is, the finished red and blue butcher. You know, most of the time I don't fish traditional patterns, but when the water is clear and the fish are finicky, this is one of my go-to patterns. When you come to fish for steelhead on this Bulkley system, I think it's very important for you to know the patterns or the flies you should be using. When the water's clear, a lot of times you'll come here and the water will be really low and very clear. We tend to use the purple flies. We've got our purple weighted flies. They seem to work really well. They're smaller, again, smaller patterns, clearer water. They don't have to be really aggressive. When it gets a little murked up and the water goes up just a little bit, so what we have today is slightly tinted water and a little bit higher, we tend to go with the egg-sucking leeches. Again, the pink pattern, something with a little brighter, but still a nice blue or darker purple color, because you just want the fish to see it slightly, because it is just slightly murked. When the water is quite murky, you want to go with the bigger patterns. Now, we've had to resort to bigger patterns today because we've got a lot of leaves in the water. We're having to go over a sink tip line because of the high winds. And here's some of the bigger patterns. We've got big purple and pink. We've got some of these other ones with the Rhea that's got a lot of the orange and the reds in them. So again, bigger patterns whenever you get a lot of stuff in the water. I'm talking leaves when you get high winds or the water is very murky. So some tips for you when you come out steelheading. Use them when you come to the Bulkley. It helps. One of those tough days.
It was pretty tough today, that's for sure.
Well, it was funny. We saw a gentleman floating by and he said he's been out here for the past 7 days and averaging a fish a day. So, you know, you can either have really good days out here or you can have really horrible weeks.
And that was, you know, we're here at the beginning of October, which is typically a good time to come. Lots of fish usually in the system. And he was saying it sounds like he comes every year.
Yeah.
And he said it's, what, 3-4 weeks behind the fish.
And I'm wondering why.
I don't know, that was the same as last year. We had a big flood in the spring this year. So I don't know if that had a big effect on them or not. Maybe it's weather. Who the heck knows? But, you know, migratory fish, they come when they come.
I'm hoping they're going to come in a little later. What we're going to do, though, is we might as well go and find them. Like, we're going to head towards Terrace. We're on the whole northern swing. We're going to head down there, do some coho. We'll try the skeena. Maybe we'll get some steelhead in there. But you know what? It's early in the week. We have hope.
We have hope. That's right. Even Al hooked the fish today.
Yeah. So when you come out here, though, in the Bulkley system, take care. There are bears around, so really be careful. Conserve the waters. Hopefully the fish are going to come back. We'll see you next time when we take a sport fishing on the fly. And I thought you had to say something. Didn't you have to say something?
Got to say hi to my associate, Sheila Ireland, back at the Royal Bank of Prince George.
To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one showing, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.